All right, everybody, welcome to Speaking for Fun and Profit. This is Nancy Matthews here alongside.
This is Trish Carr.
And we're real excited that you're here tonight for the Speaking for Fun and Profit. This is a way for you to double, triple, or even quadruple your sales. And the power of speaking to groups. You're terrified in this moment, whether it's something you're already doing or something you've just been with a little bit. The tips and tools and information that we share with you tonight is certain to catapult your results, have you impacting more people. And when you can impact more people and deliver more value and service, then you get to receive more and the prosperity flowing. So tonight, what we're going to be covering, let me kind of just give you a brief overview and covering tonight. So what we're going to be covering is, hang on one second, let me get this. First of all, how to make money as a speaker. They say that the speaking profession is one of the highest paid, and yeah, that's fine and good, but how do you really do it? People say, go out and become a celebrity, go out and share your message. Well, how do you do that and make money in the process? So we're going to show you the secrets to being able to do that today. We're going to talk about places where you can go and speak to deliver your message to the right audience. We're also going to share how much can you really earn. You know, you hear lots of testimonials and people talking about how much money they're making, but how are they doing it? And what is the potential for you to be making those six-figure earnings by a speaking career? We're then going to talk about how to get fee-paid speaking gigs. That's where you do your presentation, you show up, and they stroke you a nice big fat check, and I bet lots of you want to know how to do that one. Then we're also going to share with you the presentation formula for revenue and results. And what I'm going to share with you is that most often speakers, the reason they're not making enough money from their speaking engagements is they're focusing on the wrong things. And we're going to show you what you need to focus on as you're preparing for your presentations. And then lastly, we're going to show you how to take it to the next level so that you can really become fully immersed in the process, learn all the tips, secrets, and strategies. We're pulling back the whole curtain to give you a complete toolkit for building your speaking business. Now, I know that some of you have not met myself or my sister Trish, so I wanted to just take a moment and fill you in a little bit on who's sharing this information with you, our background and our experience. So Nancy Matthews, that's me. I am on the left, and Trish Carr is on the right, and we are sisters. Same mother and same father, and we have the pleasure of being in business together, working together, and impacting the lives of thousands and thousands of people. Just today alone, we are impacting probably 500 to 1,000 people through this webinar, through the call we did this morning, through the event that we had in person this afternoon, through people in Holland who are getting together. And none of this would have been possible had we not been able to find the secret sauce to being effective and influential through our speaking engagements. So we're going to be sharing that with you today. And here's a little background on us. We are the founders of Women's Prosperity Network, or WPN Global. We had to morph the name a little bit as we became a global company, and that's super exciting. We have over 25 years of experience in business, leadership, communication, marketing, sales, and oh so much more. Nancy Matthews and Trish Carr, we're going to be sharing our insights and our business savvy to support you in having a profitable and lucrative and fun speaking business that makes you lots and lots of money. And this dynamic duo, Nancy and Trish, we're pulling back the curtain to share our proven systems and strategies for success so that you can achieve the results, prosperity, and happiness that you desire and that you deserve. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to my fabulous sister, Trish Carr.
Thank you so much, Miss Nancy Matthews, and I'm very happy to be here with you this evening. And when I look at the title of this talk, Speaking for Fun and Profit, I know that there are probably a few of you here who are feeling like I might have felt if it was something I wasn't used to doing often. And that is messing with the, there you go. Let me do it. That is being scared to death when you hear that you're going to speak in front of groups. I know some of you sitting there or at home tonight or in your office tonight are thinking, oh yeah, I would love to speak and make more money, only I can't stand it. When I have to get in front of people, it makes me really, really, really nervous. And I can so relate to that. And I'm sure all of you have heard that of the top 10 most common human fears, the number one fear, believe it or not, is public speaking. Now, how insane is that? That people would rather have number 3, which was having insects crawl all over your body, they would rather have that than stand up in front of a group of people. It's nuts. By the way, number 7 was death. Isn't that crazy? So how many times have you thought about, I'd love to speak to people, but it makes me really, really nervous? And I don't blame you, because I felt the same way myself. I can still remember the very first time I had to speak publicly in a business situation. I was working at the phone company. It was a Bell company at the time. Now it's AT&T. But I was working at AT&T in a call center, and all I had to do was speak in front of my call center, which was about 100 people, for 5 minutes to share with them what was happening with our picnic that we were going to have. So literally, all I had to tell them was, we're having hot dogs, hamburgers, and chicken. We're going to be playing potato sack races. Bring your children, bring your spouses. It's going to be fun. That's all I had to do. Well, I'll tell you what, the night before when I was preparing for what I had to say, I cannot believe how scared I was. I like, my breath was shallow. I was nervous. The next day when I had to do it, I was standing around waiting to be introduced. There's 100 people in the room. And by the way, these are my peers, right? So I know some of you speaking in front of your peers can tend to be even more nerve-wracking and scarier. So I'm in front of my peers, and I'm waiting to be introduced, and I'm telling you, I did not think that my knees were going to be able to hold me up to walk me to the front of the room. Like, they were shaking. My heart, you ever see, think back to those cartoons where people are either nervous or they're in love and their heart is pounding out their chest. That's exactly how I felt. My heart was pounding in my chest so hard, and I felt like I couldn't breathe. The other thing was, I finally understood what the word clammy really meant, because I was experiencing it for the very first time. So I got up there, I get introduced, I do my 5 minutes, and for some strange reason, I walk off the stage and I don't even remember a word of what I said. I'm sure some of you can relate. You know how it is like when you're driving home at night and you get in your driveway and you think, how did I get here? That's the same way I felt when I did this talk. I don't know what I said. I don't know how I came across, but I do know that I was a nervous wreck. So what I decided in that moment was that was never, ever going to happen to me again. I was never, ever going to be in a position where I was so afraid to stand up in front of people and tell them that we were having hot dogs for a picnic. So I got better at public speaking. I found mentors. I found opportunities to practice in front of people. So now fast forward 10 years later, and I'm living in Atlanta. I had moved from Florida to Atlanta, and I'm living up there, and I get a phone call from the vice president of my department. And she says, Trish, I'm supposed to go to Fort Lauderdale tomorrow to give a talk, and I want you to go in my place. And I was thrilled. At this point, I was really good at speaking. I was very comfortable with it. And she was so awesome sending me home, you know. I was going to go back to Fort Lauderdale and be with my friends, so I was thrilled. Then she goes on to say, by the way, it's with the president of Florida and his staff. Now, the president of Florida at AT&T is bigger than God in a way, because Florida was the biggest state, and whatever Florida did, everybody did. And my job was to go down to Florida and convince the president of Florida to give us a green light on this huge technology project that we were working on. 10 years earlier, no one would have ever asked me that. But 10 years later, here I am. She says, you got to get on the plane. You only have 4 hours. Get home, get to the plane, get done. Here's a couple of notes, get going. So I went, and I got on the plane, and I looked at my notes, and I was fine. Everything was great. Next day, I go in front of the group. Not only did I hit it out of the park, not only was I awesome, but the president of the Florida AT&T said, I'm going to greenlight the project. I only have one thing that I want to make sure happens, and that is that every quarter you come down and you give me a report on what is going on this project. So I was like so thrilled that I was able to do it and that it was no big deal for me. And that's possible for you too. It's possible for you too. So now moving into, take it from a corporate setting, which is where I was, I had great skills. I was able to get the message across. I was able to influence him. And now that I'm a small business owner, entrepreneur, do my own thing, these skills help me to sell my products and services. So why speak to groups? Why would you think it would be a good idea to speak to groups? Well, obviously, when you speak to groups, you're maximizing your time. Because, you know, as they say, time is money. You only get 7 days a week, 365 days a year. There's just so much time. And it's really the only resource that we all get in an equal amount when we're born. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how much money you make. We all get the same amount of time. So you want to leverage your time. Why would you want to speak to 2 people and sell them your products and services in an hour when you could speak to 50 people in an hour and sell your products and services? It just doesn't make sense. So you've got to make the most of your time. Why not speak to groups? The other thing is it positions you as an expert in your field. Now, why would you want to be an expert in your field? Because everyone will listen to you. So you know how it is when you go to a networking event or to a workshop and they have a special speaker? There's something about simply being invited to speak in front of people that elevates you to an expert. So it elevates you to that expert status. The other thing it does, it maximizes your time, it makes you an expert. It also gives you the opportunity to sell your stuff. Isn't it really about who knows you? So if you want more people to know you, speak to more people, speak to groups. You'll be able to let them know the benefits of what you have, why it's going to help them in their life, and make a difference for them. Because what happens when you sell your stuff? We make more money. And really, as much as I want to really get my products and services out there and make more money, the other thing I want to do is I want to have enough money so that I can continue to inspire people, so I can continue to get my message out there. Because it's one thing for me to go out and speak to groups and get my message heard. It's another thing to be able to afford going out to doing it. So it helps you to make more money. Here's an example of the kind of money you're talking about when you speak to groups. This is Georgianne. And Georgianne is an interior designer. After working with Georgianne, the first time she went out, she closed 50% of the room and made $700. And by the way, this was about a 45-minute talk. Georgianne is so smart because she's an interior designer and she wanted to get in front of real estate agents to help them with their staging. So she put together a very special way that they could work together, and she sold it at a rate that was easy for them to swallow. And she was able to make $700 in 45 minutes. Any of you want to be able to make $700 in 45 minutes? It's not so difficult. The other thing about speaking to groups is, number one, you get to stand out as a celebrity. Again, that whole expert thing. People will be inviting you to them. People will want you to come and speak to their groups. People will look at you and elevate you as a celebrity. Another thing that happens is you actually become a better networker and you make more connections, because when you learn to articulate your thoughts, your message in a way that impacts people so that they want to do business with you, you make way better connections and you make way more of them. When you become a better speaker, it also helps you in your everyday presentations and conversations, because it helps you think on your feet and it helps you be really, really comfortable with your message. So no matter what objection or concern someone brings to the table, you can easily get beyond it and still close the sale. It also builds your confidence. If any of you have ever been out there and you did a talk and afterwards you sat down and people came over to you and said, wow, what a great job. I mean, there's nothing better than knowing that you did a great job speaking in front of groups. And we're going to be able to show you how to do the absolute best job, because the confidence that you get when you know that your message is clear, when people are connecting with you, the confidence just grows and grows and grows. Here's another really cool thing about speaking to groups. Everything that you do, every time that you speak, you can repurpose the video or the audio for marketing, for your website, to make a product. So everything that you do becomes a product. How many of you would like to have more products to sell? This is a really easy way to do it. And then the last thing is you create a community of raving fans who are going to continue to fill your funnel and keep coming back for more and more and more. So let's look at how much can I earn, because it's really nice, it's all well and good. Yes, I would like to speak in front of groups, but really, how much money can I make? Let's get down to brass tacks. Think about speaking at places where you can sell your product or service, places where there's a need for what it is you do. So think about places like a guest speaker at a networking group. All of those people, average networking groups, they get anywhere between 20 and 50 people, depending on the group. And then if some of them you're lucky, there's hundreds of people in the room. So being a guest speaker at a networking group is a great place for you to speak. A keynote for companies and corporations. I recently did a leadership talk for an association. All it is making connections with people at networking groups, letting them know that you're available, and then before you know it, you're working for companies and corporations. The other thing is there's multi-speaker events. For example, the 2014 7th Annual Unconference is a multi-speaker event. Boot camps are also sometimes multi-speaker events. Level Up Workshop is a multi-speaker event. So any place where there's more than one speaker, you can connect with the person who's organizing the event and get on the panel. A guest speaker at associations, colleges, churches, synagogues, and youth organizations are all looking for great speakers. And I know there are so many of you out there who have something important, something to share, especially with youth and people in churches and younger people in colleges. So this is a great opportunity for you to inspire and to get your message out there. And then you can be doing your own workshops, your own seminars, your own boot camps. You can also be a guest MC at charity events. They're always looking for someone to take over the microphone. All of that puts you in front of people. And of course, there's the standards, the Rotary Club, the Chamber of Commerce, the Kiwanis Club. I'm sure you can think of many, many more. So let's say you are going to be able to get in front of those groups, and I know that you will be able to do this very easily. Now, the question is, now that I'm there, how am I actually going to make money? Are these people going to pay me? And most likely these groups, with the exception of Keynote for companies and corporations, most of these are not going to be paying you. So how can you make money? Let me show you how you can do that. Think about it this way. You have products and services, and those products and services cost anywhere from $10 up to hundreds and hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars. When you get into the opportunity to speak to a group, let's take a networking group, for example, and you're speaking for quote-unquote free. Even when you're speaking for free, you have the opportunity to make an offer for your services. Sometimes it's going to be, see me for a consultation, but many times it's, I have a product for you. So at a networking event, let's say we keep it short. You're only going to speak for 30 minutes or so, so keep it to be a small introductory product, something in the area of about $50, right? So you have a $50 product. Let's say the average room is 30 people. 30 people in a networking meeting, you do your thing, you are really good at speaking, and you're really good at influencing people to buy your products and services. And that's really important to understand. Those are two distinct skills. If you are someone who's already good at speaking, bravo. Now we want to add on, I'm really good at influencing people to say, yes, I want to work with you, which is a separate skill. And we're going to show you in the workshop that we have coming up that that is one of the skills that we're going to spend a lot of time on, because we want you to be able to make the money that you deserve for your products, for your services, for your time, effort, and energy. So let's say $50 product, 30 people in the room. You sell 10% of those people, you've made $150. Most people speaking in an average room can probably sell 10% of the room. Maybe, possible. Sell 20%, and now you're walking away with $300. Well, I can tell you with the techniques that you will learn at the Business of Speaking workshop, you will sell more than 20%. In fact, most of our students sell 30% and higher. So at 30%, now you're looking at $450 for speaking for 30 minutes at a networking meeting. Do that once a week, just once a week, and every month in your pocket, $1,800. You do the math. What's that times 12? It's a good amount of money going in your pocket. Who wouldn't want $1,800 for speaking for 30 minutes? So let's take it up a notch now. Let's say that you get a keynote at one of these multi-speaker events. And the average keynote speaker is a 60 to a 90 minute. Now, when you have 90 minutes to speak to someone, your product can be higher than $50 because they're going to get to know you, like you, and trust you way more in that 90 minutes. So let's say your product is anywhere from $500 to $5,000. And let's be conservative and look at an average room of 50 people, and that really is conservative. Most multi-speaker events and the types of events that you would be doing 60 to 90 minutes have more than 50 people. But just for sake of discussion, so 50 people, a $500 to a $5,000 product, sell 10%, you're looking at $2,500 to $25,000. Gosh, that feels so good coming out of my mouth. 10%, $25,000. Make it 20%, now you're looking at between $5,000 and $50,000. But take it up another notch. Learn the skills that the speakers who make money for a living doing this, learn those skills and sell 30%, and now you're talking anywhere from $7,500 to $75,000 for one 1 hour to 90-minute speech. Interested? Yeah, $75,000. Now, let's think about this. If you do that just 3 times a year, that's going to be a lot of money in your pocket. Now, there's good news and bad news. The good news is it's a lot of money in your pocket. The bad news, kind of, sort of, is the promoter gets a piece, Although I have to tell you, it's not all that bad because the promoter does the really tough job of getting people to come to the event. They're the ones who make sure that there are people there for you to actually share your product, services, and inspiration with. So usually that runs 50-50. Sometimes it goes 60-40. It could be 70-30. But even at 50-50 split, when you sell and you do this 3 times a year, this is how much money you are looking at making. Anybody interested in another $37,500 to over $100,000 a year just from speaking 3 times? Absolutely. So whatever it is that's stopping you, now is the time for you to get beyond it. If it's simply the fear that we all experience, every single one of us experiences it, I promise you, we will get you past that fear. I am going to share with you 3 major power tips that are going to make the difference for you, that will really take you from anxious to awesome. Here's someone I worked with. This is Shonda Shingles. I worked with Shonda, and when I first met Shonda, there was no way she was going to speak in front of groups. There was no way. And after we finished working together, I couldn't stop her because she became powerful when she made a presentation, and her results showed it. Here's someone else I want to share with you. This is Trish. She's a massage therapist and an esthetician, and she recently attended the Business of Speaking boot camp. And she said, with some simple techniques and the solid structure you're going to learn learn a real structure, because it's A, B, C, D. There isn't anything you won't be confident speaking about when you learn this technique. She said she spoke to a group 1 week before the workshop, and she barely made a contact, and she made no sales. But get this, 1 week after the workshop, she closed 40% of the room, and cha-ching, those are her words, cha-ching. She said the workshop skyrocketed her personal confidence and helped her grow her business. So if confidence is something that you need more of, you will definitely get it. The other thing is, your personal confidence is going to go up and your business is going to grow, and you're going to have that many more people that you can share your message with. This is Sherry Kane. Sherry is a Women's Prosperity Network chapter leader in Broward. She's also the owner of the I Am Complete Women Retreats. And she and I have worked together for a while now, and she's really just taken her conversations and turned them into sales. This weekend, Sherry did one of her retreats. This was the second one that she's done. And I'm thrilled to tell you that Sherry had an upsell, like many people do. And that upsell, Sherry did not, she didn't sell 30%. She didn't do 20%. She didn't do 10%. Sherry sold 70% of the room simply by using the techniques that she learned so that she could influence people to buy her products and services. 70%. I think that's a good number. I love that, love that. So if that's something that interests you, I want to give you these dates and jot them down before I bring Nancy up, who's going to take you into how do I get paid just to walk in the room, because that's another way that you can make money. Not just selling your products and services, but you can actually be paid to actually speak. So Nancy's going to share that with you. So I want to make sure you're aware of these dates. Tallahassee, July 10th, 11th, and 12th, and Orlando, October 16th, 17th, and 18th. Those are the next dates that we'll be doing the 3-day training designed to support you so that you can be effective and persuasive. And remember, it's not just about learning how to speak to groups, because you can do that at Toastmasters. You can learn how to articulate your message in a way that gets your message across, but you will not learn how to convert that into sales. So this is what you can expect in the Business of Speaking Bootcamp. Number one, you can break through any of those fears you have around public speaking. You'll also learn how to get paid speaking gigs. And Nancy is going to talk with you about that in just about a minute and give you some ideas on how you can do that now. You're also going to learn how to inspire people and sell from the stage. So many of you have an incredible message to share. So many of you have a story that needs to get out into the public. So many of you are waiting for the perfect time to do it. When is that perfect time? I think it's now, because you want to be able to inspire and sell right now. And you'll be able to learn how to do that in the Business of Speaking Bootcamp. You'll also learn how to market yourself as a speaker. You're now going to be seen as an expert. So how can you capitalize on that expertise and grow your business even more? How to build your list and sell your products. We're going to spend time on helping you support you in growing your list. Also, designing and crafting your presentation for maximum results. And remember, it's a design. Everything is done exactly to method, the method that works over and over again, and so much more. So let me invite you now to get those dates on your calendar, and you'll want to make sure that you are at the 3-day Business of Speaking Bootcamp, because it will turn your life in a whole new direction. Nancy's going to share with you now about being paid for speaking as opposed to selling your products and services. So Nancy, take it away.
All right. I am back. Let's have a round of applause for Trish Carr. She's a powerhouse speaker. And, one of the things that shows up for me is Trish was the one who started me off in my speaking training. She came from the corporate world where she had lots of speaking training, and I was terrified of public speaking. If somebody had told me I'd now be a public speaker, motivation, get paid speaking gigs, sell from stage, I would say you're crazy. I don't know who you're really talking about. So wherever you're at right now, anything is possible. And for me, what happened was I knew that I wanted to reach more people and be more effective and make more money by reaching more people. So overcoming my fear of speaking was step number 1. Step number 2 was to learn how to take my content teaching and create it and choreograph my presentation in such a way that it created the influence for whatever next action I wanted the audience to take. So I'm excited that you're all here tonight. We have lots and lots of people on the webinar, and we'll be sending out the recording to those who couldn't make it as well. Trish has covered a lot of the pieces on making money by selling from the stage and just taking you through the numbers of what's possible. Now, I know that the thought of selling from the stage is something that may not appeal to you. It might make your stomach turn. You don't want to do it. Or perhaps you're someone who comes from the world of academia or corporate where you've never even considered this concept, and the concept that you want to get into and learn more about is how to get those fee-paid speaking engagements. So I'm going to be covering that in this evening's conversation. I want to just kind of highlight one thing that Trish was touching upon. Think about when you are going to a networking event, and at that networking event you are meeting people, passing out your business cards. When you can shift to position yourself to be the speaker at one of those events, everybody in the room gets to know you, and you create, and with the right presentation, you create the opportunity for them to take that next step in business. With our clients, we have to guide them where we want them to go next. So speaking from the front of the room, creating an invitation for people to learn how to work with you more, how to take that first step with you, that's the very next way to go when you're doing networking and speaking from groups. Many people are on the line right now, and I know that you have some speaking skills. I had a client who had been doing presentations. She was a handwriting analyst. That was a tough word. So you don't have to be perfect to be a speaker and make a lot of money doing so. You just have to know your stuff and be very confident. So Jeannie is a handwriting analyst, and she was doing presentations. She worked for the FBI, and she worked for major corporations. She worked for the schools to go out and use handwriting analysis in order to create personality profiles of people so they could track down criminals, all kinds of stuff. And then she wanted to take this handwriting analysis and deliver this knowledge to the general public and show them how they could do behavior modification with handwriting. So she's doing all these presentations. She's getting invited to come and speak, but she's not getting people to say, yes, I want to hire you. And that's the key, going to do those speaking engagements and getting people to say yes to what you want. So Jeannie goes out, and she had been doing presentations. She hired me to coach her. And not only did we work on her presentation, for the very first time after delivering a 1-hour presentation, she got 5 clients that day. So being able to do that in a group of 20 people making $2,500, where before it was almost like an hour of wasted time, she took her presentation, changed up the formula for it, and then had 5 people say, please, how can I hire you? And isn't that what we all want with our speaking presentations? One of the things that you're doing for fee-paid speaking engagements is creating your presentation in such a way that the owner of the company or whoever's cutting you that check is going to be grateful and invite you back. That's what you want to have happen when you do a paid speaking engagement. So the principles that we're sharing with you here, and that we'll also share in the in-depth workshop, is about putting your presentation together in such a way that you influence the person who's making the decision or who's writing the check. So in a fee-paid speaking scenario, you want to influence the audience to have a great experience, get the knowledge they needed, so that the person hosting the event invites you to come back and speak again. And all of those are pieces of the formula. So we've talked a lot about how to set yourself up to go from these free speaking gigs to be able to make money. Now I want to take you into getting paid a set fee in order to speak. Some people ask me, how do I get started? How do I really get out there and get someone to pay me to come and speak at their event? The way that you want to start to do that is you want to have, obviously, your bio and a speaker's one sheet. A speaker's one sheet is one piece of paper or a PDF document or a page on your website that has your bio, a picture of you, hopefully a video of you doing presentations, as well as 3 to 5 topic titles that will give the people looking for speakers the opportunity to say, hey, that's the exact topic that I want for my company or for my event. Now, I want you to, for a moment, think outside the box a little bit on where you can go to get paid speaking engagements. So using me as an example, I speak on marketing, mindset, women's issues, women's success, and I'm the founder of Women's Prosperity Network. One of the speaking engagements that I had was for a roofing company. Now, I'm a woman speaking to a room full of contractors. That doesn't necessarily make sense, does it? But it made sense because I made connections with people who saw the value that I could bring in terms of customer service, leadership, and sales. So look outside your normal sphere a little bit as you're looking for fee-paid speaking engagements. Another suggestion that I have for you is to look for your local and national speakers association. So here's one of the things that I'm a member of the Florida Speakers Association, and the key about going to those types of associations where other speakers are is about, number one, you get some great knowledge there. Number two is about making connections with other speakers. When you build relationships with other speakers, they may get called to speak at an event, and then when you're their friend and they know what topic you speak on, if they're not available, they're going to refer you to it. speakers will work with each other. Our schedules are so full, we can only handle a certain amount of speaking gigs. So my suggestion is look for a Speakers Association, look online, National Speakers Association, and they have lots and lots of chapters. So go ahead there and make some contacts. To get more fee-paid speaking engagements, you must be diligent in submitting proposals to event hosts and promoters. There are also lots of speaking agent companies, speaking agencies that you can get connected to, and you can go ahead and sign up for those. But here's the one thing that I would caution you. Before you stroke a big check to join their association, you want to speak to some of the other speakers that are listed there and find out if they really are getting speaking gigs from being a part of that association. So go ahead and look into some of these things and build out those fee-paid speaking engagements. I want to invite you all to also look at, I know you want to be able to show up and just get paid a big fat check for showing up, and those are nice. I've had lots of those. I want you to think outside the box a little bit in terms of creating products, digital products, CDs, books, and things of that nature that you can also offer to sell. Because sometimes you may want to go speak at an event, and they may or may not have any money in their budget to pay speakers. So for example, a lot of the events that we do at Women's Prosperity Network, we do not have a fee payment structure built into our business model, and we really haven't had to. We get some great speakers who come because they want to be part of and deliver value to this community and the people that show up. So when you are reaching out to people about getting a fee-paid speaking engagement and you ask them the question, well, what is your budget? They ask you, how much do you charge? And you come back with, what is your budget? That's always what you want to come back with, because you could answer that question by saying my fee is $2,000 and they have a $5,000 budget and you just lost $3,000. So find out what the budget is first, then answer the question. One of the other ways to make money, if you're on one of those phone calls and they say, well, we don't really have a budget. Well, the next place I would go is, can you purchase a copy of my book for each one of your attendees? Do I have the ability to sell or offer things at the event? My very first fee-paid speaking engagement was for a company that is in the network marketing industry. And I got this speaking engagement from someone who knew me, and she said, Nancy, can you come and speak at our event? And as you can see here by the check I'm showing, it wasn't a lot of money. The check that they could pay me, they didn't have a lot in their budget, was just $3,000. So I traveled to Jacksonville for this event. They covered my travel and my hotel, and they gave me a check for $300. Now, what I had the ability to do there was to sell my other products, programs, and services. So not only did I get that $300, I sold $2,500 in products, and there was a national director at that event who loved what I presented, and they booked me to speak at a conference in Texas, where I got paid $1,000 plus all my travel, plus all my lodging, plus I had the ability to sell at that next event too. So as you're looking for those fee-paid speaking engagements, I want you to think outside the box a little bit. Don't necessarily hang up the phone if somebody says, oh, I don't have your $5,000 fee. You want to get creative. You want to find other ways to be able to, build on the opportunity that's before you. And that's one of the reasons that I am such a big proponent of creating products, CDs, ebooks, MP3s, all of that. You must create products based upon your expertise. You have so much knowledge. Other people want to learn from you, and we have to make it easy for them. So one of the things that we teach is how you can go ahead and do this. I was on the Wow Wednesday call, or one of our coaching calls the other day, And a woman was sharing that she's listening to a 5 CD set that I created, and she's getting so much out of it. So listen to this. This is a 5 CD set that I created using freeconferencing.com in 2009. So since 2009, this product that I created one time continues to make me money over and over and over again. And as a speaker, having product and books gets your foot in the door with lots and lots of organizations, and they'll ask you to come and speak. It creates that long-term residual income because, again, you can only speak, so there are only so many days and opportunities for you to speak. By creating products based upon your expertise, it allows you to set up that residual long-term income. It's nice to wake up to see another order was fulfilled while I was sleeping. If I was to ask a question now, I would bet if I said, how many of you would love to wake up in the morning and see money just pouring into your bank account, pretty much every hand would go up. So look at your fee-paid speaking engagements as the opportunity, yes, to get a nice check, and then also to find ways to build that relationship with the audience by offering them additional expertise and solutions that they're looking for. So this next one, this is that roofing company that I mentioned to you. So here I am, a woman. I was the only female on the speaking roster. I think there were 6 presenters that day. I spoke for an hour on customer service and getting along with people and leadership, and I taught on the one philosophy. Those are things I know about that cut across every industry. If you had told me that I'd be speaking for a roofing company, I would say, that's strange. I don't know anything about the roofing industry. Well, I don't need to know about the roofing industry. I know business strategies, I know sales and marketing, and that's what businesses are looking for. So yes, you want to have your niche market. I clearly have my niche market and working with women and building women leaders and teaching them what I can and everything I've learned to go out and build their own businesses. And then look outside the box a little bit. Where can you go ahead and share your expertise to another audience that'd be willing to pay you a check? And for this event, I got paid $3,500, plus I built relationships with people in the audience who have since purchased my books, come to our other events. So again, think outside that box. Here's another company that I did some speaking for at their regional conferences. This is ACN. And it's a wonderful network marketing telecommunication company. And I was contacted by them. They had regional conferences, and I spoke at 2 of their events on leadership, on networking, on follow-up. Again, these are things in my wheelhouse that cut across all industries. Here's something, the reason I pulled up these particular slides is when you're doing a presentation for, especially, I do this for every audience, but particularly if I'm getting a fee-paid speaking engagement, one of the best things that you can do that will guarantee you will be invited back to speak again and again is in your PowerPoint presentation, use information about the company. So for example, if I go back to the roofing company, they had put on this event for their customers as a give back and to say thank you to them, so they were giving them this education to grow their business. I went on the website of this company, ABC Supply, and I found their vision statement and their mission statement, and within my PowerPoint presentation, I had all of the things about the company woven into my presentation. So as the owner in the back is sitting there watching my presentation, and I'm giving him kudos for being of service to his customers and offering this event, and it's in alignment with his vision and his mission, I'm stroking him. He's feeling good. So these are some of the nuances you want to build into your presentation. And again, your audience for a fee paid is not just the people sitting in the seats. It's the person who's striking you the check. So your presentation must appeal to their interests as well. So this is one of the things that you can do to modify your presentation so that it ensures you get invited back again. And I did the same thing with ACN. When I did the presentations for ACN, I pulled up their logo, their company, presidents and founders and board. I use words that are comfortable and familiar in their culture to convey the message that I wanted to convey. So this is one of the most important things anytime you're doing any presentation, and particularly if it's a fee paid, you want to make sure that you are doing lots of research on the company and the culture of the people that you're working with. Now, what I want to share with you next is I'm going to go into the formula for producing revenue and results with your presentations. And the results that you want to reach are different. Sometimes you want to sell, sometimes you want to influence, and I'm going to take you through all of that. The key to successful presentations, prosperous speaking careers that grow and grow and grow, is something you've probably heard of, the 5 Ps. Proper planning prevents poor performance. And when you go do a speaking gig, here's what we know. You don't want to have the audience looking like this. That is a bomb. When they're sleeping, they're playing cards, they're doing other things. You want a presentation where the audience looks like this. They're having fun, they're engaged, they're enjoying themselves in the process. The proper planning piece that I'm going to share with you now is going to be the key that makes the difference for all your future presentations. Most speakers are spending all their time focusing in their preparation time, and they're focusing on this, the content. What am I going to teach them? So you'll probably spend hours and hours or days or weeks even putting your presentation, making sure you're saying all the right things in all the right places, and you're giving them all of the knowledge, all of that tactical information that's inside of you. The problem, why you're not converting or creating the influence that you want for the audience or the event promoter or the company that's hired you, the problem more often than not is because you're spending all this time in preparation and you're planning and preparing on the wrong part of your presentation. The content piece, that's your expertise. That's what you know. That's what you're familiar with. The content is the easy part for you. It's the opening and the closing and all the other pieces that will lead to your desired outcome that are unfamiliar and you're not sure how to handle. And that's what I'm going to give you right now, is the formula for how to create the opening, the closing, and what you should really be focusing on in your planning and preparation time. So what I'm going to go over with you now are these 3 subjects, and then you decide your content. So anytime you're getting ready to do a presentation, you want to start with your topic idea, whatever the topic is. So for example, this one was speaking for fun and profit. That's the idea. I want to show the people who are coming to this webinar how they can speak more and how they can make money by doing so. Then next, what you want to do is think about your target market, what next steps you want the audience to take, and then once you have those pieces built out, that's when you begin designing your content. So for the topic idea, here's the questions you want to be asking yourself, and write this down on a piece of paper when you're getting your presentations ready. The first question is the question that your audience is asking. What will your presentation, service, or product, what will that do for me? That's the big question on top of everybody's head. So ask yourself this question as you're putting the presentation together. What I want them to learn, what I want the audience to learn is, and then fill in the blank. So for example, if you are a health coach, what you want them to learn is that modifying their eating habits can be easy and it doesn't have to be hard. The benefit is the next question. The benefit of them learning this is they will be healthy, happy, and look fantastic. For purposes of this topic idea of speaking for fun and profit, what we want you to learn is that it can be easy for you to get up in front of a group and create influence, and then also have the ability to bring the audience to the next level of doing business with you. The benefit of learning this skill in speaking for fun and profit is that you'll have more fun, you'll reach more people, and you'll make more money. So that's what you want, what we're sharing with you tonight. So you start with the topic idea, answer these 2 very important questions, because this sets up the positioning of your presentation and your flow. Next, you want to look at your target market. And typically with target market, we talk about the demographic, how old they are, you know, where do they work, what are their hobbies and things of that nature. So go really deep on this, because with speaking and creating influence and persuasion, it's all about getting into the mindset and understanding what's really going on with your customers and clients. So who is this for? What are they experiencing? What are their problems, challenges, or desires? And what do they want that I can give them? Go through these questions, ask them, answer these questions. So for example, who is this for? This webinar is for people who are speakers or want to be speakers, and they're either afraid or they're frustrated because they're not making the money that they thought they could or should be making. That's also what they're experiencing now: frustration, fear. The problems, challenges, or desires that most of you are going through is that you don't know how to get speaking engagements. You don't know how to get the audience to take you up on the opportunity that you're offering. And then what do they have? What do you want that we can give you? We can give you these formulas, this process for putting your presentation so it creates the desired outcome for you and for your audience. So go through this formula yourself every single time you're doing a presentation, and you too will have those stellar results like our other clients are having who have done this webinar, who've come to the boot camp. You've got to immerse yourself in the process and trust that this is a formula and a science that works. So you have a choice. You can keep doing it the way you're doing it, or work with people who are experienced, who have the proven track record, and will show you the formula so that you can apply it to your presentations and get those stellar results. So first, look at your topic idea. What are they going through the target market? And then, before you put your presentation together, decide in advance what next step you want your audience to take. Do you want them to buy an additional product or service? So if you're at a networking event, you may very well want them to buy a book or a CD or maybe an introductory session with you. Do you want them to have a better understanding of how you can help them? So let's say you're an accountant or a financial planner. They're probably not going to buy from you right on the spot, but by speaking, they will have a better understanding of who you are and how you can help them. And the next step you want them to take is to call you for an initial conversation or review of your financial portfolio. A next step you might want them to take is to want more information so they can go deeper. So maybe you have a health plan or something of that nature that you want them to learn more about. Do you want your audience to be convinced or have a new perspective? A lot of times when we're doing speaking engagements about women and success, working with women to feel more confident about themselves, that's for them to be convinced and have a new perspective on how awesome they are. Do you want them to recommend you to others? So these next steps, knowing them in advance, exactly what you want, what action you want the audience to take, allows you to know how to put your presentation together so you get the desired outcome that you want. Once you do that, then you design your content. The middle part is the easy part. That's the part that you know. That's the part that you're an expert. You got it. All you need now is the formula to apply to it so that you get the revenue and the results that you want. So let me share with you one of our clients. This is a gentleman by the name of Johnny Regan, and I know many of you on the line know Johnny. And Johnny and I work together, and he shares Nancy and Trish are the best of the best. Their skills are unparalleled, and their authenticity, integrity of the highest caliber. Nancy worked with me to develop my message, my brand, and my posturing, and within 30 days, he brought in over $12,000. These ladies are the real deal. If you want to deliver your message and monetize your talent, there's no better person, there's no one better to show you how. We took Johnny, he did a couple of speaking engagements. We developed his programs and his products so that he was clear on how he was delivering his services to his clients. You all have services that you're delivering. Now we need to get you set up properly to receive the compensation that you well deserve. Here's another of our clients, Melissa Binkley. She is a light worker and holistic healer. her website. Check her out. She's awesome as well. She came to the speaker boot camp, 3 days, all intense, and we pulled back the curtain. And she shares, the program was absolutely fantastic. I learned so much. They over-delivered in every area. I truly came away from this with a solid plan, and it has made my speaking natural and fun. Because here's the thing. I know you don't want to be salesy. That's the last thing you want to be. And quite frankly, your audience doesn't want you to be salesy either. They want you to be the real, authentic you, deliver value, deliver knowledge, and then show them how they can have more of you. Melissa goes on to say, I have been speaking before, but never had the formula for putting together a presentation that inspired people to take action with my programs and services. Now I'm using the formula to consistently close 20 to 50% every time I speak. Would you like to have those results? Would you like to be able to walk away from a speaking engagement knowing, number one, you knew how to get the contact information of everybody in the room so you could follow up, and that you had 20 to 50% of the people there saying, yes, I want to do business with you further. Quite frankly, my friends, if you're going to a networking event, having these skills, whether you're speaking in front of the room or one-on-one, is going to make you more money. Because I'm sure you've been there where you fumbled around, wasn't exactly sure what to say, and then you walk out of the event, maybe you've got some business cards in your pocket. I want to see you walk out of an event, whether you're the speaker or an attendee, know the formula to your language and the choreography of you delivering the features and benefits of your products and services to people so that they ask you, how can I do business with you? Please, please tell me more, let me in. That's what you want. You want people asking you so you do not have to be salesy. So tonight we've covered how to get over the fear, how you put the formulas together for making money when you're doing speaking engagements. And here's something really key. One of the bonuses that you're going to get tonight for all of you who decide to join us for the 3-day boot camp, one of the bonuses you're going to get is an audio program, and you're going to get this right away tonight. I want you tonight to be able to get into action on this, not have to wait until you attend the event. This is called How to Make Money as a Speaker, and in this I take you through the formula for pricing your products and services depending upon the amount of time you have to speak and also the amount of credibility and leverage that you have. So if you have a 15-minute presentation, a 30-minute, 60-minute, 90-minute, how do you put that all together so that every time you're making a presentation, you're hitting it out of the park, closing 20 to 50%. So that's one of the bonuses that you're going to get when you go ahead and sign up for the boot camp tonight. So tonight we've gone over some ways to get through the fear, how to go out to networking events and change them from just doing a presentation to making an offer to the audience that gives them some introductory package, to doing 90-minute keynote presentations and either getting paid a big fee from the event host or having something to offer to sell. And let me mention this, when you're looking at these multi-speaker events, they want you to have a package to offer. They will only invite you if you have a package to offer. So let that event promoter go ahead and fill that room with 100, 200, 300 people. You have your package together that you sell for $1,000 up to $5,000, and you close 20 to 50%. That's a pretty good day. Developing products is key to long-term financial independence in the speakers industry. So let me give you the information about the workshop. So here we go. This is the opportunity to expand your business and your life. We were only going to do the Business of Speaking boot camp one time a year. We did it in April. And after we were done, and the buzz was all over Facebook and all over our community, people were begging us, please, please, please do this again. I wanted to come. I couldn't make it. When are you doing it again? So we've got 2 upcoming dates in demand. The first one is July 10th, 11th, and 12th, and that's in Tallahassee. And then the next is going to be in October 16, 17, and 18. If you go to the website now, wpnglobal.com/speaker-training, I've got that right on the screen there. And for those of you who don't have a screen, it's wpnglobal.com/speaker-training. So at the speaker training, we're going to go through, do exercises with you to break through any fears you have around speaking in public. We're going to go deeper into how to get paid speaking engagements. One of our guest presenters is Shannon Burnett-Gronich, and she is a PR expert, and she'll show you how to get on TV, how to get radio gigs, and really how to put yourself out there and spread. In the speaking business, you're going to be working on getting more and more presentations. How to inspire and sell from the stage, how to market yourself as a speaker, how to build your list and sell your products, designing and crafting your presentation for maximum results, and so much more. So the 3-day training is $14.95, and we're offering a special price for everybody who's here on this webinar tonight, and this sale ends at midnight on June the 8th. So let me tell you what the opportunity is for you. The people on the line who are members of Women's Prosperity Network or the International Women's Leadership Association, you can attend this event for just $495. After June 8th, this price is going up. This is the last time you're going to see this price, I promise you. If you're not yet a member of WPN or IWLA, it's an additional $100, so it's $595. So you can go to wpnglobal.com/speaker-training, and or you can call us at the number that's listed on the screen, which is 800-928-6928. Let me share with you now the bonuses that you're going to be getting. And I understand we went over a few minutes. Forgive me for that. We have so much to share with you. I wanted to make sure you got everything you needed tonight. So here are the bonuses that you'll get immediately as soon as you register for the event. First thing you're going to get is Speaking for Fun and Profit, 3 ways to fill your pipeline with qualified prospects. Then you're going to get How to Make Money as a Speaker, where I go into detail on how to price your offerings for every presentation. Then a class from Trish on the 5 deadly sins of public speakers and how to avoid them. And I joked that she made that CD because I probably made all those mistakes. And then this last one is Monetize Your Message. This is a 3-part series where I take you through the how. Everybody says, oh yeah, build products, do CDs, but how do you do it? I take you through a 3-part video and audio series where I show you exactly what to do to create CDs, ebooks, and also how to create all this digital download, and I step-by-step take you through it. And the beautiful thing is I show you how to create them for virtually no money. The only thing you end up paying some money for is a little bit of graphic design and to actually print the CDs, but the rest of it, you can do it all yourself. So those are the bonuses you're going to get as soon as you sign up, and just the bonuses themselves are valued at $150. Here's Marlene Green. She's a leadership expert, and on the How to Make Money as a Speaker, which is one of the bonuses that you're going to get, she shared this class was incredible. Never before has someone included all of the key ingredients we need as speakers to start maximizing and monetizing when we present. I now know the exact steps to inspire the audience to take action with me. The class is the best sales tool I have received. So you'll get all of this right away. I want to invite you to go ahead and take action now. wpnglobal.com/speaker-training. And again, it's $14.95. This is truly the last time it's going to be offered at this price. And $4.95 or $5.95 for non-members. When you go to the website, if you want a payment plan, there's also a payment plan on there. And we do have a special bonus for everyone who pays in full tonight. You're going to go ahead and also get a one-on-one strategy session with either myself or Trish, where we'll even do this before the workshop, take you through putting your presentations together, go ahead and getting all of those pieces together for your bio or your speaker one sheet. So go ahead and take action. Go to wpnglobal.com/speaker-training. All right, and I see there's been some conversation going on in the queue here. I'm going to go ahead and end the call tonight. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at nancy@nancymatthews.com or team@womensprosperitynetwork.com. All right, everybody, have a great night. We will see you at the Speaker Boot Camp.